If you dimensioned or into solid stone, or you got trapped inside a mimic's home, forced to plane shift into the void, or turned to ash by a cursed child's toy, your cleric got charmed and hit you with bane. You find an empty tomb, but it's inscribed with your name. Drank the flask marked do not drink, dominated by a shaman and then kissed a hairy sphinx, walked the plane of shadow for years, then told the demon your greatest fears. Lost and starving in the desert and there's mold on your bread, your bard rolled a 20 to seduce the dead. From a leech's den, read them out loud and never again. Woke up in hell with a talking sword. Now your soul's owned by a demon lord. A fireball trap explodes and your rogue has fled. A green dragon wakes and you're still in its bed. Oh, sometimes you're just better off dead. You're better off dead.
So, welcome everyone to another round of Doctors Against Undeath. Tonight, pitching the esteemed adventuring group known as Better Off Dead against a crypt that has been overrun by the forces of necromancy. Before we catch up with where the party is up to, we might do some introduction. So first of all, welcome to our party, and there's one still to come, but we've got a fantastic group of players with us tonight, and we might just go around the table and everyone can introduce themselves and their character in the 30 words or less version. We might just go left to right down the bottom of the screen.
I'm Phil Cohen. I am playing the Orc Paladin Fiaclan Theonde. Fiaclan is a large orc, big, brawny, not too fast, not too bright. He's wearing a splint mail and an amulet which has got a picture of a torture device on it, which looks like, and then what looks like a stick figure, which is his of Ilmata, his god. Looks like he's actually scratched on this little stick figure, and that's his holy symbol.
Okay. Welcome, Fiaclan.
That must be me. I was looking at the wrong screen down the bottom. I'm Sarah. I'm playing Zariel. She would introduce herself as like, Zariel, yes, really, no, I'm not her. I just took the name. Look, I figured if the gods were going to curse me, I might as well return the favor. Tiefling, obviously. Horizon Walker by necessity. Those planar rifts aren't going to close themselves. Someone's going to keep the filth from leaking. So look, I don't do speeches, I do solutions.
Okay. Welcome, Zariel. And now, Chorus, if you can focus one of your heads on us just for a minute and give us a bit of an intro.
Chorus. He is an Asmar Warlock. He's wearing a patchwork cloak of many different fibers and different really stitched together tapestry of things going on there. You can see he's occasionally just twitching his head as if to look to the side and saying, "Shut up, Prudence," or "Smite." And he's, very excited to be playing some D. And my hat off to you, Sarah, for your costume work and DM. An excellent intro. Very excited to play.
Thank you. All right. Justin.
Today I'm playing Wizard Wizardson. He's a human who thinks he's one thing, but is not. He walks like a barbarian, he talks like a barbarian, he fights like a barbarian. He's dressed in a loincloth and he's got these wizard robes of dubious authenticity. He thinks that he is a masterful enactor of the mystic arts. He is the wrathful whacker of wights. He is Wizard Wizardson! Thank you very much.
Nice. All right. That brings us to Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'll be playing Krug Lumiere, an orc wizard illusionist. Now, Krug grew up in a hyper-violent clan, but unlike everyone else, Krug loved the ideas of illusions and ultimately decided to become a cine magician, although he feels that no one understands his brand of magic or what he's trying to do. He ultimately wants to become a director producer, and that is Krug Lumiere.
Krug Lumiere. Oh. There's certainly, if they were in movie scene, there's certainly been, after the Me Too debacle, there's certainly some availability from Krug tonight. And joining us a little bit later, hopefully we'll have Emma, who is playing Maribel, who is a gnome cleric of the nature domain. I don't think Emma plays anything other than clerics, but I'm sure we'll find out what special kookiness Maribel has in store for us later on. All right. And with that, we'll catch up with our party, who are members of the adventuring group Better Off Dead. After losing yet another high-value contract to their former friends turned rival company, our crew found themselves in desperate need of gold and purpose and something sharp to swing. They received a letter from Doomguide Halverick, a priest of Kellenvor and a full-time maintenance supervisor of various crypts, tombs, and divine installations around Faerun, around the Swords Coast. And he sent them a letter which asked them to come with all due haste to the Hollow Reliquary, a crypt in a remote location which had been overrun with evil. And on the way, our crew stopped in at a few locations. Zariel threatened their supplier, but did manage to secure some oil for her sword. Fiaclan demonstrated some very impressive 3rd to 4th grade mathematics. And along the way, they acquired a range of little trinkets and items that hopefully will stand them in good stead for our adventure. And we join them as they're in the final stretches of their approach to the Hollow Reliquary. The road ahead of you narrows, less now a road and more of a suggestion. The stonework fades away, and it's more now a line in the dirt that's guiding you to where you want to be. Scrolling. Still scrolling. I don't know. This may be my end. Hopefully we don't have another tech disaster like in previous Undead issues. That's okay. I've got it all written down. We can old school it if we need to. For the last half mile, you all have the sensation that you're being watched. You see ahead of you ruins of what would have been an imposing but small temple of obsidian stone. Cracked spires of this black rock reach for the sky like a hand almost reaching out to the sky. The angels and other celestial forms that would have adorned the path that you're traveling, cracked and broken, overcome with weeds and ivy. And standing at the end of the path, at the entrance to the crypt, is a man wearing threadbare black robes, and he is Doomguide Halverick. He looks like a man whose patience has perhaps been exhumed and reburied several times. He doesn't flinch as you approach on horseback, horses and your cart, and you arrive and pull up next to him, and he looks at you and sighs and runs his hand through what is left of his hair and says, "You're late. By a whole day, even."
What is time on this plane anyway?
That's it. All right. How do you move forward? You guys have arrived. What on our battle map there is the entry to the crypt. So there's a tent or a series of small tents, which is where the cleric and his acolytes have set up camp. You can see that the entrance to the crypt, there's large sort of stone bollards and heavy chain that's covered in glowing ornate glyphs that forms a physical barrier to people just wandering into what is left of this crypt. And you see that there's a number of other horses, another cart that appear to have the same thick layer of dust from the road that you guys do, having just arrived.
Krug intentionally hangs back while everyone else approaches this cleric because he thinks he can get useful footage of them talking to the cleric.
Yep, good. Some of that wide angle B-roll.
Exactly.
Yep.
You guys are doing great. Just keep going. Act natural.
And action. All right. Who's the face?
Fiaclan walks up to the cleric and says, "We heard news that our friends were here yesterday. Friends, did you see anyone?"
Oh, yes. Yes. They arrived yesterday. They said that they'd also gotten my letter and that they were here to help and that they could probably do a better, faster job with less collateral damage. And they even agreed to do it at a discount. They must really not like you.
Fiaclan looks at the cleric and says, "Did you send them another letter?"
I only sent one letter, but here you are, and here they are. It serves Glenfor that you're all here. I only have to pay one of you. Whoever manages to complete the task for us first, I guess, will take the reward.
You realize you're going to have to end up paying us double, right? Because they're going to get in there, they're going to fail, and we're going to have to take them out for you as well. That's going to increase the price.
Oh,
And cut. Krug name goes up there. Can you say that again, Zariel? But this time, just do a web for a close-up shot.
Oh, I tell you what, get rid of that, and I'll take it for half price.
here,
The cleric.
Krug, roll a wisdom save.
That is a 7.
It's a 30-foot field of silence erupts around Krug. You can continue filming. It'll just have to be one of those sort of noir, oldie-timey. You'll have to put the voices in post. And the Doom guy turns back to you all and goes, "Will you be willing
Half
to
price it
partake
is.
in
That
the
means the
mission?"
original. That means the original.
Half the
given
yeah.
that I
It's,
doubled the price. So yeah.
you are an excellent negotiator.
What
And look, collateral
exactly
damage is
are we
really
doing?
only added value. That's what we think here at Better Off Dead.
That's certainly, you came recommended. Lord Noel's hedgerow wasn't ever quite the same, but he said that you did get the job done. And that's really what we need today.
Of course we got the
What
job.
exactly do you need done?
Yeah, I guess I should tell you. So this crypt has been long hidden, only recently rediscovered by acolytes and scribes in our service. It contains the remains of a number of influential and important figures, Kalemvor's faith and his service over many centuries. We were beginning the work of restoring this crypt to its former glory when we were attacked and forced to retreat. So the mission is twofold. The first component is that I need someone to clear out the current undead scourge that is desecrating my lord's sanctums and wipe them out, leave nothing behind. If it moves, kill it. The second bigger problem is the only way such an infestation could have occurred is a failure of the warding glyphs and charms that were placed upon this reliquary. What we know is that there are 3 braziers, 3 giant arcane braziers throughout the crypt, and each of them burns with unnatural and holy flame. And by the telling of the scripture that we've had access to, if all 3 are lit, then the crypt is a hallow, it is a safe place, and the undead cannot enter it. For whatever reason, these have failed, and so while you're cleansing the halls, it would be of great service to us and probably to you to relight those 3 braziers. The first adventuring party to return after the crypts are cleared will have 5,000 gold, and my recommendation to another much more fruitful project.
It's always the DIY jobs, isn't it? Wizard Wizardson knows what I'm talking about, right?
So is
Sorry. Is the crypt?
No, you can't. Krug, no.
Oh, yep. I had you guys off screen for a minute, but of course he's silenced. 2 words. First word. At this point, the cleric drops the silence spell just in case, had something important to say.
No. Put it back up.
And is there any relics that we should be careful not to destroy? Anything of value, per se?
I mean, everything is of value. Like I said, we've only just rediscovered this, and we haven't had a chance fully to catalogue all of the treasures here. Certainly there are things of immense value and of immense power and immense danger in the wrong hands. So I would caution you to not touch anything, really. Pretty much nothing.
Okay.
Touch nothing.
So the rule is to not touch things with our hands. One rule, easy to follow.
These braziers,
Mm.
just like normal fire to turn them on, or do we have to do something special?
Any kind of magical fire will light them.
Oh, an opportunity for special effects. Interesting.
And what's with all those things covering the doorway? Just
Oh.
go through them.
Yeah, yes, my acolytes will escort you. Those temporary wards, glyphs we established as we were retreating to stop the spread of the malevolence out of the crypt and into nearby woods. So yeah, they can escort you through those. That's not a problem.
Fiaclan at this point just walks straight past them and towards the woods, leaving everyone else to do whatever they want to.
I mean, at this point, the Doom Guide's probably said all he has really to offer you in terms of useful information about the crypt. Oh, he is able to tell you that as far as they're aware, there are 3 braziers, and the crypt is at least 3 levels deep, although a number of the pathways that they had explored had caved in or were sealed in such a way that even they hadn't been able to open them yet.
Any recent dead bodies, significant notable people that have gone into the crypt, mysterious people in black cloaks hanging around suspiciously, anyone you've seen?
No, the area had been under our control for a few weeks, maybe almost a moon, and nothing of the sort. I think the corruption is internal. It came from within the crypt rather than someone truly releasing it. So yeah, other than my acolytes, the only people to have gone into that crypt in the last month would be your colleagues.
He calls them friends one more time. Good.
Just a
Well,
question. Do you have any crazed acolytes? They make some great retelling for the documentary that I'm making.
Hey, Krug, how about we save that for when we get out the other side, mate?
But now is the golden hour. This is a time when there is the best
Perhaps-
lighting.
Perhaps if you are victorious, then I will make one of my acolytes, and he looks at the two acolytes who are with him and clearly picks the one that is not his favorite. And I'll make one of them available for interviews.
Fantastic.
But perhaps it's best to know how the story ends before you ask your questions.
Very well.
All right.
Right.
Now,
Crug
most
looks at
important
Wizard.
question. Which of you, my colleagues, wants to ride into battle?
I mean, I don't vote we
Ugh.
ride. I vote we actually leave the horses here. Horses
I
are
Yeah,
said nothing
you-
about horses. Now, is the entrance to that crypt wide enough to fit a cart?
It is not.
You know what?
is-
My state has done me very well thus far in my career. I think the ground is fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's a giant stone doorway, and the two doors, one is completely off its hinges and it's crushed, and the other is pushed aside enough that you would have to walk single file to get into the building.
That's the DM's way of being like, I'm a funnel you in a specific order.
Yes, and if you'd like to just tell me that order now, we can get
If it
moving.
doesn't mind, we'll go first in front of everyone at any opportunity unless someone tries to stop him.
Okay.
Great. We have a volunteer sacrifice. I love it. I'll go second.
Wizard will seek a
Zariel at
place of
two.
safety in the middle, because he is but a wizard.
Yep, squishy.
If that.
Krug will go through at the end, so that way he can record everyone going through the door. And then cast
Chorus
special
has
effects.
fourth.
And he plays that while everyone's walking in.
The
It's a
DM
good thing
casts-
I'm not counting on being stealthy.
The magic of this new system is I can mute you remotely. Chorus, where are you?
I will happily take fourth. Chorus has a sword. He's not as tanky as Fiaclan. Obviously, he's more tanky than a wizard, so happily fourth.
Right.
Because someone's going to have to keep an eye out for Krug, because if he's focused on filming, he's not actually going to be watching our asses. So, Chorus, that one's on you.
Okay.
Plus, now I can talk about royalty share.
He'll love that.
Yeah, you need to be cut into that
Royalty
deal
share.
early. Yeah, it needs to be cut in early.
Better
on
you
that.
than me, mate.
Uh,
the
Krug
counting.
need to worry. Nothing
And-
bad ever happens to the last guy in the formation. And anyway, when we get in there, we're just going to split up so we can cover more ground, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's usually the token orc that's in trouble.
Yep.
All right. So you enter the crypt and you arrive at the bottom of a set of stairs in a dark hallway where there are gated, barricaded doors at both ends of a short hallway, which is where you are now, and hopefully in just a second where the camera feed will be.
Yeah, Zariel's had enough of this shit already, guys.
Okay. So you enter this hallway. So behind you, the doors are locked and barred. Ahead of you is a gated doorway that is open, or at least it's clearly not locked. And there's a little bit of light in the room ahead of you. Which way are we going, Bill?
So Fiaclan turns to his colleagues and says, I'm not the brains here. You tell me which way to walk. We walk that way.
When in
I
doubt,
can
left.
Jimmy open the doors behind us, or we can keep going forward.
All right.
Fiaclan asks, so we're going forwards, okay? As he sees all of his party members just go ahead without him, he shakes his head and walks on after them.
Yeah,
No, we're in a
fine.
line still, aren't we?
No, we're not. And I still just have the plain purple squares.
I don't even have squares. I just have just darkness on my phone. I don't know how to use
All
a
right.
screen.
Let's just go to beyond, because at least then I know that everyone can see the same stuff.
So, does anyone else at the table have a preference of whether we go north on the screen or south towards the doors? I have a crowbar and can Jimmy open the doors? I can try. Or we can go the way that looks more obvious.
I actually like the idea of the doors, but obviously we're a team. So what's the vote?
So
Krug
Fiaclan is all
and-
for the door.
yeah.
Fiaclan then shrugs, takes his crowbar out of the back of his backpack, and attempts to smash or jimmy or crack one of the locks behind us.
On the doors behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. As you touch the door, this immense cold chill runs through your armor, through your arm, down your legs. You feel rooted to the spot, and your vision starts to go hazy. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Do I get advantage because of the cloak?
It is not a cold effect.
Okay. That is a 5. All up. It was nearly a 20.
You become unconscious.
Yes.
That was fun. Damn it, sent the wrong person through.
I guess we're running Tomb of Horrors.
You're just trying to outdo Emma in how fast you can kill someone when they enter a map.
No.
Krug does a close-up of Fiaclan. Death. The most honest, special effect. And just does a zoom in on his face. Then he had the violin sound play again.
Death, the final frontier.
Oh, Krug loves that. He's stealing that.
Is he making death
I
saving
know.
throws, or is he just unconscious?
He's just unconscious
Okay.
currently.
Either way, if Fiaclan dies later, this is still good footage to use, potentially as well, because he's so perfectly still.
Wizard Wizardson's going to look for an object with which to try and poke the orc, and then maybe drag him away from the doors.
Oh, that's nice of you, because I would just poke him with my sword.
Yeah.
So should we be able to see anything on D&D?
Yes.
Wizard Wizardson doesn't have dark vision.
It's all black.
Okay.
Deep grey. It's the same color as the black grey around what I can see on your screen, but there's nothing on my screen.
So, Krug would like to see what's behind the door, but knows better to not touch the door. So he's going to use his shape water cantrip to get some water from his water flask, put it into the key lock, and then freeze it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's not an obvious lock.
There's not an obvious lock.
No. Certainly there's not a keyhole to fill.
Ah, shame.
Can I drop a detect magic DM? I get to do that as without spending a spell
Yeah.
slot.
So there's certainly a lot of magical, or even within 30 feet of you, there is a very significant aura on the gates that are in front of you, and it's a combination of abjuration and evocation and also something necromantic, but by far the strongest is abjuration. And you get a sense, this is certainly some of the most powerful magic that you've seen. You get a sense that the doors might not be meant to open.
Okay, I'm going to drop a false life on myself too, because I can do that at
Doors-
will, just to give
doors
myself a
open.
little bit of temporary hit points. I get
Yep.
5 temporary hit points. 8 temporary hit points.
Okay.
I did that on the
So-
way in.
Has Wizard Wizardson succeeded in getting me away from the door yet?
I poked you with my sword. It's sharp.
Did you actually poke him?
Oh, yeah.
As in you did a melee attack on an unconscious character?
With non-lethal damage. Yes.
Okay. It's an auto crit, but we'll come back to that. Wizardson does drag you back. And Wizardson, it's odd because Fiaclan's normally a fairly hot-blooded character, and you all just came from outside and you haven't been down in this cold crypt for very long, but his body feels like ice. Even through the armor, you can feel he's almost drawing the heat out of you as you drag him back and away.
Who of us is really quite good at investigating things or just sharp eyes? Krug, what do you got? You're good with detail.
I'm very
Krug's
perceptive.
very good. Krug's very good at investigation. He has a +7. He has expertise. So Krug is looking around the room, trying to see if there is any way to go through this door, anything that would make it more dramatic. He's casing the joint, looking forward at the set.
So Krug looks around the environment. There's no lever. There's nothing that really gives any obvious indication of how to open the door. Roll that investigation for me.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You notice a great number of runes on and around the door and glyphs leading up to the door. And what languages does Krug know?
He knows Common, Giant, and Orc.
Okay. You don't recognize any of the glyphs specifically, although as a wizard you probably have some idea. Some of them at least are arcane and appear to be duration and similar sorts of magic. You also notice that end of the corridor is largely undisturbed. It's a thick layer of dust and grime, and all of the footprints and traffic that has been into the crypt go the other way.
Something tells me that no one has been through this way, which means it's boring. Let's keep going ahead.
Or it means it's different to the way that everyone else has gone and gotten themselves fucking killed.
Yes, but I don't want to spend all this footage time outside one door. I want to get
42 minutes defeated by one door and a crappy virtual tabletop.
I don't know, Z. I reckon
it'd be
this is
funny.
Krug's got an idea.
Let's do this. Let's have you guys walk towards your future and potentially your death. Got this going. Wizard.
I'm going to throw the
Wizardson,
cloak
can you
dramatically
still-
around myself.
Oh,
Okay, well,
we love
I've
that.
already poked my sword at Fiaclan and he's still unconscious. So would one of you guys like to do something else to wake him up? Because that's all I got, guys.
Do we have any
Krug?
chili or spices in the ration packs?
Krug casts minor illusion on where Zariel stabbed him to make it look like blood is spurting out.
Okay.
But other than that, Krug can then use Identify as a ritual to see what is affecting Fiaclan.
As a ritual. You want us to sit here for 10 fucking minutes while
you're
you
gonna sit
try
there for,
it?
yeah, 11 minutes. He's got, guys, I need to change batteries in the camera.
Okay. Or
Memory
would you-
cards are full.
Or Wizardson, can you cast a spell to make Fiaclan awake?
That I can. Wizardson's going to try and pick up Fiaclan and slap him about the face and yell out cantrip as he does so.
Any hit point? Am I gonna have any hit points before we make them?
Again, melee attack against an unconscious character is an auto crit.
Although it's slapping.
Slapping, it's not actually punching.
Okay, listen, I've got spare the dying, so if you kill him.
We'll say, for argument's sake, for expediency at this point, because they're all trying to kill you, that at one point, one of them remembers that you've got 8 healing potions between you and pours a healing potion into and onto Fiaclan, and he comes back to consciousness.
That is a way boring way to do it, mate. Just saying. And yeah, I don't have any healing potions. Yep, cool.
Okay, that's all right. I will keep track of where you guys are at on the inventory side, but you've got a few up your sleeve.
At some point, Krug pulls out a healing potion and goes, "Oh yeah, forgot I had this."
+7 to investigation, you said.
Investigation, not wisdom.
So,
To the south.
Fiaclan, now you're awake. What do you want to do?
So
Don't worry, it's not real blood.
I looked at the door that I just got frozen. I feel like something just feels a bit sore. I look towards the other door. Do the people who've cast Detect Magic tell me anything about the magic they've seen and the door the other way? Or because I've been unconscious and I know nothing.
Oh yeah.
All I'm going to tell you is don't worry, it's not real blood.
Yeah, we're not going that way, guys.
Yeah, that door has lots of dust on it, and it means that no one's been there, and it's probably boring. Let's go this way.
Oh, sorry, we'll turn around and go through the other door.
There we go. And Krug is just gnawing it so that
He wants to
in case
die.
something happens.
Okay. So you enter this next room and blast it. Wrong fog of war. You enter this next room and what you find, and the effects are not quite as good on the Beyond map, but that's okay. In this space is a giant brazier. It looks fancy. It looks much bigger than it would probably need to be in order to light the space. And you look around and there are bodies of various fairly old ages, nothing very recent, but in various stages of mummification, maybe 2 or 3 bodies around the room. There's a couple of chests in the corner there on that left-hand side. And ahead of you, there is another set of double doors through which these are open, and you can see beyond that a set of barred gates that you can see through into a dark hallway.
Okay.
Sorry, where's the actual brazier? Because I'm...
Yeah, sorry. I'm adding this
Oh,
in
Are we going to take
as we
bets
go.
on
There
which
you
one?
go.
Are we going to take bets on which one of those chests is the mimic?
Should I start throwing
Wizard
Eldritch blasts
Wizardson
at
has a way of
bodies and
determining
chests?
with magic.
Oh, I was just going to Starry Whisper. but
Wizardson,
yeah.
use identify.
I can do that. Wizard Wizardson is going to open up his library bag full of books. Just bricks with the word book written on them. He's going to take aim and throw a book at each of the chests, one after the other.
Have a lovely
Yeah.
one.
There's a loud thumping noise after each impact. Pretty good aim, to be fair. You notice nothing in particular.
They are unlikely to be mimics.
Fiaclan,
Detect
as he
magic
walked
throwing
in-
up anything new?
Yeah, so in this space, the brazier is giving off a strong duration and evocation. The gates that you've passed through that are open behind you, they also give off some vibes of adjuration. Nothing in the chest. And then lanterns around the room giving off just a simple enchantment of constant flame.
Is the brazier lit or not lit?
It is not lit.
Okay. So,
Fiaclan,
sorry. Krug rolls up his sleeves and goes, lights, camera, action, and casts Firebolt at the brazier.
Enclosed space, dude. Enclosed space.
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So the brazier does light, and it gives off a sort of odd bluey purple glow that lights the space now. And actually, you feel the cold that was starting to gnaw at you and was becoming a bit uncomfortable despite your thick cloaks starts to reduce, and it becomes a bit more of a comfortable temperature. And there's a dull ringing in your ears that you hadn't even realized was there until now. And that seems to have eased as well.
Krug is then going to cast Minor Illusion, and it's improved Minor Illusion. So it has both sound and also image. And I'm going to have a picture of a little goblin just walking around and walking right by each of the chests to see if any of them reacts.
No, nothing reacts. No reaction from the chest.
Fiaclan's walking into the room, allowing space for his friends, but just generally looking around carefully towards the door and towards the mummied bodies, prepared to spring into action if needed.
Okay.
So it makes me wonder, how come the brazier's not lit? Everyone else would have gone through the same way.
Is there fuel in it or something that would light?
So you get just looking at it, it's not a true fire in so much as it is glowing with this divine energy almost. So there's nothing. It doesn't really need fuel to combust, and it is unclear to you why it either was lit and failed or wasn't lit by your colleagues who've entered in advance of you.
Fascinating. Krug turns the camera on himself. This means that this is a mystery. Dun, dun.
Okay. Getting some good, good footage. Yeah. Roll investigation.
Oops. That is 24.
Just 17.
Okay. So as you guys are looking around, Krug, you notice that the bodies, they've probably been there some time, and they don't look like they have decayed in a particularly normal sort of way. The 3 chests in the room have already had their locks picked and broken, and there is nothing remaining in any of them.
Lads, looks like we'll beat into the punch. So nothing here to loot. The body is sitting
God, it's easier. If they do it on the way through, by the time we get to them, we just take all the shit we want off their bodies. It's easier.
Ooh, I like the idea.
Okay. And then?
We go straight. Or you guys go straight. I'll be behind in safety.
Fiaclan acknowledges Krug and agrees with Zariel, and then cautiously now, he's learned from his mistakes, moves forward into the next room.
Was there anything on the mummified bodies?
No, nothing of, again, they seem to have been picked clean.
Can we tell anything about who or what they were?
They appear to have mostly the vestments of clerics or acolytes of Kilimvor. There were 1 or 2 that looked like adventuring types, but nothing particularly obvious.
Before we go, shall we have a corpse bonfire again?
Yeah, I like those. Let's do it.
As in a cremation, a ceremonial burial.
Cremation, bonfire, same shit, dude.
We are
Yeah, wizarding. Get on the
our
program.
rivals here, guys. I feel like we should just throw Fiaclan at the door and just see what happens.
Throw Fiaclan at the door, throw fire at the zombie, dead
All
bodies,
right.
whatever.
All right, Krug will just light firebolt and hit each of the zombies, setting them on fire.
Okay.
Good job, mate.
And they light up and the bodies burn pretty easily, to be fair.
I was hoping that we'd have more footage of everyone else in the robes and masks again.
So now you're in another hallway with more doors. Ahead of you, Fiaclan, and you're all moving up to join him as we go. So I'll just move you all up into that space in case anyone's playing on their own tabletop. In this hallway, straight ahead of you is a giant sort of vault door almost. It's a big steel door, or a big iron door with an ornate looking mechanism. There's no obvious handle or lock, and it's fairly obvious to all of you looking at it that it's operated by a mechanism that's somewhere else. And to the right, there is a closed set of stone doors, and to the left, ahead of you, there's the corridor branches that you can see a number of doors in the branching corridor to the left.
All right, Fiaclan, we'll stand back. You go check the doors out. We'll work it out after that.
Yeah, the burden of leadership is heavy, Fiaclan, but I believe in you. Clap you on the shoulder.
So Fiaclan shakes his head, looks back at the mages. Any magic coming off of these things?
So you're probably coming to the end of that detect magic, but I'll tell you that. So the big vault door gives off some abjuration magic, and as you look down the hallway to the left, there is and the Beyond won't let me give you the overlay without blocking the vision, but there's almost like a light fog, which as you're getting away from the brazier, it's starting to get cold again. So maybe it's just condensation, but there's a light fog down that left-hand side, which gives off a bit of a faint magical aura to Chorus.
So Fiaclan shrugs and goes back towards the right, to the door to the right, and cautiously now. So he's been around these cursed things. He touches the door with the back of his hand so that his hand spasms up. He doesn't grab hold of the handle.
So you're opening this door.
Yeah.
And it opens easily. It's not locked. It opens, and in front of you is another chamber, a large chamber that is, it's fairly dark, despite the lanterns that are lit around the edges of it. Now, remind me, who doesn't have dark vision? It's just Wizardson, isn't it?
Wizardson, who is going to activate
but you've got
magical
the
lantern
lantern.
party board.
Okay. So you using Fiaclan's dark vision and Wizardson's lantern at the doorway, looking around, it is a large crypt-like space. You can see at the end of this crypt-like space that there is what appears to be another brazier.
Hey guys, big news. We're in a crypt and it looks like
Yeah.
a crypt.
Yeah, that's fair. This space has some ornate-looking.
I guess that's why they call it cryptic. A real mystery.
Yeah.
It looks like we've gotten rid of the undead. The portal is closed.
The portal has closed. I'm not entirely
Okay.
sure why.
I didn't even see Z fix the thing.
The magic of the internet
Skill.
is killing me today, but that's okay. Session and give you a spectator.
We can log back in. I've just put it back up on my own screen.
That loads. So you're looking at a crypt. In a crypt. Yep. It's not lost on me, the humor.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Cryptception.
Cryptception. That's it. As you look, and what I was trying to get the words out while the internet was screwing with me was Wizardson's lantern causes there to be a number of glowing green shape that you can't really make out in the dim light of the room. But you vaguely recall Baron who sold you this lantern said something about it highlighting the undead.
Krug
Hey, there we
casts
go.
minor illusion, and in the middle of the crypt, he makes a little dancing halfling going, diddly dee potatoes.
That's a leprechaun.
It's a that's
Leprechaun.
cultural appropriation is what that is, and we're here for it. Okay,
the
so it just
follower, you're gonna
dances
like
through
that.
the room.
Is that enough with the full? Are you going to light that brazier or not?
In a second, we need stakes. We need tension. So first of all, he casts Firebolt, but he still maintains the minor illusion of the leprechaun just dancing by with a torch, and as he casts Firebolt, he lights the thing.
What's the range on your firebolt?
120 feet.
Yeah, make an intelligence check. So intelligence plus proficiency.
Okay. That is a 12. Wait, no,
Okay.
proficiency is 2. 10.
Or a 10. Okay.
Yep.
So your firebolt hits the side of the brazier and it doesn't catch. And as you do that, you notice that things around the room have started to move. And at this point, you'll probably need to roll for initiative.
Okay. Does the leprechaun get initiative?
The leprechaun does not.
Okay. That is. Krug got a 10.
10 for Krug.
12.
Stake beyond. That was chorus was a 12.
Sean, be
I thought it was
careful.
got a
We might want
5.
Beyond we might want Beyond to sponsor us later.
Yes, that is entirely true. We must be careful to not upset the future. That's all of you guys. So, what our initiative them? Now remind me, sorry, initiatives. Chorus was a 12.
I only got a 5, sorry, DM.
5. Somebody else
Fiaclan's
is a 12.
12.
And Fiaclan's a 12. Yep.
I got a 10.
With -1, I'm faster than everyone. That's hilarious.
That's leadership, that is.
That's it. All right. So, as you throw your firebolt across the room, you see the shambling, fairly dismembered corpses of a number of zombies, which start to howl and call out for you. And they are going to come charging through the gate. So, in zombie A.
Do any of the zombies get distracted by the dancing leprechaun?
None of them even saw the dancing leprechaun.
Uh,
Do any of them lose
Yeah.
10 pounds because of the camera?
no, you gain 10 pounds.
Oh, you gate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tricks of the trade.
that's why you're the spokesman, Krug.
That's it. All right.
At least the skeletons will appreciate gaining weight.
So, 2 of the zombies make it close enough to you, even though they're shambling corpses that move immensely slowly, to make some strikes at you. So Fiaclan is going. They're going to strike at Fiaclan. It's just a slam. It's just this sort of meaty, decaying fist. There's a 23 hit.
Does.
In fact, that'll be a crit from that zombie. Okay. So you take 10 bludgeoning damage. And Wizardson, you're gonna... Surely that's not 2 in a row. Yeah, okay, apparently I just rolled 2 natural 20s in a row. There you go. Wizardson, 23 also. Does that hit you?
Quite easily.
I'm
Yeah.
going to take the reaction to do interception, as obviously I'm being hit myself, so I throw my shield in front of Wizardson and reduce the damage by 3 points.
Okay. You take 5 damage, Wizardson, from the zombies. And does a 14 hit Wizardson?
No, it does not. It bounces off his immensely muscular pectoral muscles.
All right. In that case, then,
Barbarian armor rules.
yeah. In that case, we'll come in the initiative order to Wizardson.
Wizardson is going to cry out, Otterluke's Rippling Six-Pack! By which I mean he's going to enter a raid, and then he's going to perform a reckless attack against the zombie that hit him. This is an enhanced unarmed attack. Ooh,
Critted as well. Everyone's critting.
maybe there's something wrong with the dice roller.
Who cares? 26, take it. 26 definitely hits.
And because I'm reckless attacking, there's some things I don't know how to implement when I'm in raid, including that reckless attack bonus. So it's going to be this amount of damage plus, I believe it's the rage damage, which will be 2 plus 2 dice 6. Let's see if I can roll that up. So that's going to be 16 damage in total.
Double because it's a crit. You
I guess
wail
Is
on
the
this
rage
zombie.
and the
Yeah, I just double all the dice. So if you rolled, is that 1? You rolled 2d6 plus you killed it. Essentially, is the moral of the story. Even if we did some fancy math there, you wail on this zombie and it goes down, and then it needs to make a con save. So you beat the crap out of this zombie and it falls to the ground in a heap of flesh. But only a minute, less than a minute, only actually about 6 seconds later, it starts to move again and starts to climb to its feet. Actually, I tell you a lie, because that was a critical hit, so it doesn't get undead fortitude. It's dead.
Can I
So that-
use my movement to walk onto where it was standing and thereby... do I trigger... If I move out here, does that trigger attacks of opportunity?
No, so you're still in the melee range of that other zombie,
In
depending on
fact, I
how
could
far
move
in
out
you want to
here,
go.
couldn't I? All right, and I think that's all I've got for this round.
Okay. And that brings us to Fiaclan.
Fiaclan is going to move diagonally to the right so that he's within 5 feet of Wizard, because he feels like he can protect the idiot Wizard from getting wailed on by the other 4 zombies. But he's going to take a swing at zombie A with his War Pit.
All right.
And that is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yep.
So he does 8 damage, and zombie A has disadvantage on all attack rolls until my next turn.
Okay. 8 damage on zombie 8.
Yep. And I'm within 5 feet of Wizardson at the moment.
You're going to move up to just behind him?
Yeah, diagonally to the right. To be
I'm
just
with-
behind. No.
Yep.
So, there.
Perfect. Okay. Krug.
You should note that's 4 20s in a row on attack rolls.
I was a 19.
Okay.
Critical
So-
role in Australia.
Noosh.
Nice. So, Krug uses his bonus action to cast Improved Minor Illusion, and he can do that as a bonus action because of his illusionist plus. And right between zombie E and D, he's going to create a naked, chubby halfling that then goes, "Oh, gee, I've forgotten my clothes." To try to
Now
see
I've
if
got
the
a
zombies
Scottish
can
one.
do that.
Okay. All right.
That's his
Uh,
bonus action.
Okay. Yep. I was.
Just to
I
see if the
was-
zombies will distract, will capture. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Listening.
Carry on.
Afterwards, he will then move back about 20 feet and then fire a firebolt at zombie A. All right. So, the first, sorry. The hit is a nat 1.
Okay. Yeah. Fireball goes flying through the doorway, narrowly missing your allies, and zooms straight down and smashes into the wall at the far end of the crypt.
Misfire is just part of the production costs. We have insurance. We don't have insurance, but we will get insurance.
Most of the time,
And-
they won't give insurance after the fact, mate.
Krug doesn't know that. And Krug
I'm telling you.
might know that. He doesn't care.
I'm telling you.
Either way,
Krug.
that's Krug's turn.
Zariel.
Please move me up to zombie A,
Yeah.
who I will hit with my Corpse Slayer longsword, hopefully. Or not, quite possibly. That's only
No, that still
19.
hits. Still hit. They are sluggish and not very dexterous.
So that is a 14 damage in total.
14. Is it doubles its damage because it's undead, or is it?
It's extra damage because I'm two-handed.
Yep.
Plus, oh, hold on. I missed an extra roll, didn't I? I've got to do an extra 1d8 because it's undead. I haven't rolled that. Give me a second. Add another 8 to that. I rolled 8 on my
Yeah, great.
d8.
It's
It's
just
also,
slashing damage.
yeah, so this one is, yes, it's slashing damage. And assuming that it is still up at the end of this
So it goes down.
and comes back up.
and-
Yeah.
No, it stays down. No, not with
No.
No, it's less than the amount of damage it took. So you eradicate that zombie as well.
Cool. I would like to. No, that's it. That's me for now.
Okay. Chorus.
So Chorus is going to look at Z and be like, she's so cool and scary. So he pulls out his sword, and you see a sort of blade composed of 3 metals, burnished bronze, tarnished silver, and just a hint of shine to the gold, all woven together in jagged patterns. And he pulls out Discordance and just points his hand up and throws a classic Eldritch Blast at Zombie B.
Eldritch
is-
Blast.
Eldritch Blast. That is 7 to hit, and he looks terribly embarrassed that he hasn't impressed Z after such a display.
Do you get
And,
one or
he-
two at this level? I think it's
How does
only,
At this level, yeah, level
I think it's
5, I
only
get
one.
the
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get
So
one.
that just shoots wide. Only just, to be fair.
He is still a bit squishy. He's not going to move up into close combat without support, and he's going to end his turn.
Close, mate. Close. Keep practicing.
Okay. And that brings us back to the undead. So Zombie E and Zombie D did in fact notice the chubby halfling, and they run at each other and collide, bouncing off of each other through the illusion of the chubby halfling, and they spend their turn uncertain as to how to proceed because they can't really discern the nature of that illusion.
Currently, they are allowed to make the study action if they would like, against
They-
a spell save DC of 13.
Yeah,
Can-
they do not. No. On the basis of a wisdom that is near fatal, they have a -2 wisdom. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. 5, 10, 15, 20 is gonna get him close enough to fight you. All right. So Wizardson is going to be attacked by this zombie. A 14 does not hit Wizardson, so a big swinging haymaker of this sort of decaying flesh swings high over the top of Wizardson, who ducks and shouts mage armor as he thrusts back at it with a piece of stone from the floor. Zombie B is going to strike the armored paladin-looking dude with the Ilmada crest, and he is going to also not make contact. It's just lobby, useless sort of swing that really doesn't go much of anywhere. And it's about now that you notice that the green
Krug's got a friend.
backlighting that was highlighting the undead, there's also flickers of it coming from the walls where there wasn't much but shadow. And suddenly you find that there are shadows leaping from the wall, throwing tendrils of dark necrotic energy towards each of you. And so, Krug,
Ooh.
at the back of the party, having just thrown a number of firebolts and your minor illusion, several culturally stereotypical minor illusions that will certainly offend our European viewers, going to reach out and swipe at you. Does a 21 hit?
Ooh, does hit.
It does. So you take 4 necrotic damage,
Ooh,
and your strength is reduced by 1.
that's fine. Krug has a strength of -1 anyway.
If your strength gets to 0, you die.
Oh, 7 then. How do I make
Okay.
it temporary? They are. Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a little button. There's a little cogwheel at the bottom of your ability scores there, but that's okay. I'll keep an eye on that for you. And another one appears next to Chorus, and is also going to lash out with these tendrils of necrotic energy. But Chorus, it seems to try and make for one of the heads, and might have even swiped at Prudence, and passes through and makes no contact with you. And they both disappear out of view again. And that brings us to Marybelle, who evidently Emma's had a terrible time and isn't going to join us. At this point, is anybody good with a cleric? Because I'm pretty useless with a cleric, to be fair.
Played a couple.
I'm happy if you guys want to play her character sheet amongst you, or if you want me to do it. But for this turn, at the very least, she's going to channel divinity and turn undead, because that seems like a logical thing for her to do at this point. So we're going to use a channel divinity, and I'm going to roll some saves. Go wisdom saves for -2 wisdom zombies. Zombie B is not turned, but the remaining zombies are turned. So turned. They've forgotten about the chubby halfling, and they're going to also flee. And she's going to stand her ground there and prepare to attack further. And that gives us Wizardson.
Wizardson is going to perform a reckless attack against Zombie B. He's going to say, Big B smacking fist, and perform the attack.
That hits.
And then there's also the reckless attack damage. I keep forgetting. I'm reckless attacking each time, so you can reckless
That's
attack
okay.
your zombies
Yep.
when time comes. It'll be this plus 2. So 16 damage in total.
Okay. So you smack this zombie with your arcane fist, and it goes down.
Because
Then
I've got
moments
cunning
later-
for it, things I hit can get pushed backwards 5 feet. So imagine
Yeah.
the zombie B can be pushed northwards.
Sure. Northward
Towards
side.
the tool.
Great.
And then
He does
Next up-
go down, but briefly, only briefly, and then starts to rage and roar and bit and come back up again.
and I'd like to move over next to one of the... Is that a torch on the wall?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I think I'll try and, when I get the chance, I'm going to try and grab that and possibly make a run for the brazier.
Okay. And that gives us Wizardson's turn, Fiaclan's turn.
So, does Mirabelle know whether her turn undead made the shadows go away?
It does not turn the shadows.
Does not turn the shadows. In that case, I am going to use one of my. Just a second. I'm fairly sure it's a bonus action. I'll just check it. Just a second. Yep. As a bonus action, I'm going to channel Light Divinity and have a look, guide me, Divine Sense, so I know the location of all undead within 60 feet of me for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Then you know that they haven't moved, that they were just hiding in the shadows there.
Seeing as they're shadows, can I walk through their spaces without
Yes.
provoking attack of opportunity? Sweet. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stand in between the two shadows. Then it's probably burning too many things all at once. I'm going to take an attack action at one of those shadows, the one next to Krug. And with a 19, as it is about to hit, I invoke your Martyr's Strength again, and my weapon deals radiant damage. So +2 to hit and radiant damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll some damage.
So
Krug
that
is
will
loving
be-
this, by the way.
That will be 5 radiant damage. And it's got disadvantage on all attack rolls.
Okay. You carve through this with the pick, and the burst of this radiant divine energy causes this explosion almost of brilliance deep within the shadow, and it becomes no more.
Cool.
Absolutely
Okay.
brilliant, Fiaclan. You have the face of a protagonist. Let's make you iconic.
Okay, and that's it for
Please
Fiaclan.
just stop, please.
Krug.
Yes, that's all.
All right. So, can Krug see the shadow, or is the shadow invisible to him?
It is invisible to him. Or it's not
Okay.
invisible, sorry. It's taken the hide action, but
I can
Fiaclan kind of
identify that.
rushing
It's
over
right
and having
there.
pointed it out on the way through. I'm happy to say that you can see it. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Krug will cast a fireball at it again at this one and see if this will have it.
Firebolt.
Fireball. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
because actually, you
18
guys
to
aren't
hit.
high enough to have fireballs.
No, God no.
Yeah.
God no.
That's
18 to
fine.
hit.
That hits.
That is 4 fire damage.
Okay. Shadow takes 4 fire damage. You can see the shadows kind of recoil and some of the tendrils draw away and repulse and move around the wall as you throw your fire at it. Anything else, Krug?
Krug will then cast a minor illusion in front of zombie front of zombie B, just around, and make it look like a wall. So that way it's hard for the zombie B to see through.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, you're
And that's
casting a wall of, some kind of illusory wall. Got it. Okay.
Like a brick wall.
Okay.
Yep. And that's turn.
All right. That brings us to Zariel.
If I attack zombie B, is that going to cause any problems with your illusion? Can I see through the illusion?
You, it appears to be realistic. He's not a bad illusionist. You did see it just appear out of nowhere, so you're pretty sure.
Okay, but the shadow's still behind me, right?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah, okay, fuck it. I'll attack the shadow instead. Let's Starry Wisp the shadow. Actually, wait 1 second before I do that. Just let me check something. What I might actually do is I might bonus action Hunter's Mark it first. Just in case I lose it and I don't kill it this time around. Bonus action Hunter's Mark. Then Starry Whisper. That'll be a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, with a grand total of 3 radiant damage.
Okay. You see it again, the shadows repulse and creep along the wall like almost like smoke drifting away from your burst
It
of
gets
radiant energy.
That counts as an attack, even though it's a cantrip?
I'd have to look at specifically what Hunter's Mark says, but for argument's sake, let's say yes.
It's under my action. It's under my
Yeah.
attack actions, just because I should get that extra 1d6.
Yeah, roll that. Yeah, have the extra d6 and I'll have a look for that.
That'd be a 4.
Okay, an extra 4 damage. Okay. That brings us to Chorus.
So Chorus is going to be boring and do a green flame blade on the shadow.
It
So
says
he's gonna make
an attack roll, Sarah. So that's so that would include a cantrip that is an attack roll, not a save. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Chorus swings, and just as he does, Prudence says something. He turns his head sideways, and the sword slashes into the rock next to you.
And I see. Prudence, I know I've got to hold my left hand above my, but now is not the time. Okay.
10 and 2. 10 and 2.
Oh, you're killing me.
10 and 2
Again.
for driving.
Tag in, Wrath. And that's all I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to the zombies. Zombie B is going to feel fairly trapped in the corner, and you can hear them running around in a circle, unable to really get out where they are currently. So they spend their entire
sorry,
movement with stuff.
When
Yeah.
I miss with the great sword, I can use graze to deal damage to the creature equal to the ability modifier I used to make the attack roll. So +2, so 2 damage. To it.
Oh, there you go. As you bounce the sword and you're distracted by one of your spiritual voices, your sword slashes into the wall and bounces off the stone and bounces and carves through the remaining tiny bit of shadow, and it only had 2 HP left. There you go. So you successfully murdered that shadow. Zombie B is running around in circles. Zombie C is fleeing turn undead. Zombie E and D are fleeing turn undead. And that's their turn. That brings us back to Maribel, who is going to look around you and perhaps look at Krug particularly. And what have we got? Yeah, there you go. You can have 13 points of healing, Krug, from her cure wounds.
Much appreciated. I will make sure that you get a co-producer tag. in my next video.
She says, I'll take it back if you keep talking.
Okay.
And that brings us to Wizardson.
Wizardson will try and tear the torch off the wall, and using his action, And then he's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step up to the brazier and try to dunk the torch into the brazier.
That's fine. So for argument's sake, you just need to tell me what spell he was using there. Or have you run out of famous
This'll be a
mage's name?
Tragic hands.
Yeah, Mage Hand. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay.
And also
You cast this torch into the flame and watch as the brazier glows and this powerful, radiant energy fills the space, fills the room, and you watch as this light fills the room, as the warmth fills the space. And where is that dice? You watch as the zombies melt, each of them having taken 44 points of radiant damage.
If you dimension door into solid stone, or you got trapped inside a mimic's home, forced to plane shift into the void, or turned to ash by a cursed child's toy, your cleric got charmed and hit you with bane. You find an empty tomb, but it's inscribed with your name. You drank the flask marked "Do not drink," dominated by a shaman and then kissed a hairy sphinx. Walked the plane of shadow for years, then told a demon your greatest fears. Lost and starving in the desert, and there's mold on your bread. Your bard rolled a 20 to seduce the dead. You looted scrolls from a leech's den, read them out loud, never again. Woke up in hell with a talking sword. Now your soul's owned by a demon lord. A fireball trap explodes and your rogue has fled. A green dragon wakes and you're still in its bed. Oh, sometimes you're just better off dead. You're better off dead.